name is Pugs, and today I'll be sharing GoldenClan 7 moons after the previous video. Now, it isn't a year after, because once again this is based off of my book, and there's a lot that happens each moon, and I wanted to make this a moon after a huge event happened, which I'll get to in a moment. Like I said in the last video, which I would recommend watching before this is based off of Nyoko Arts' GoldenClan series, so I would highly recommend watching their stuff, because it's really good. Now, let's get into this. First is StarClan, which thankfully only has one added cat to it currently. Unfortunately, Cloudy Glide lost her life last moon, defending her daughter from a dog raid. Now, with GoldenClan, they live in an open mountainy area which contains a lot of meadows and open spaces, leading to a lot of two-legs camping in their territory and bringing their hunting dogs with them. 3 of these dogs found camp and went ham on GoldenClan. Cloudy Glide had recently had a daughter, which I'll get into later, who was a surprise kit, due to the fact that she might have been seeing a Tom from BoneClan named Storm Chaser. RIP Wavy Baby, you will be missed. So, Winstar has had it a bit rough these past few moons. His sister died, his mate nearly died, and the clan lost a kit. Oh, and everyone else is having a hard time recovering from their injuries due to the dog raid. The one good thing out of this entire situation is that Sam Blossom had his daughter, DesertKit, as you will see later. During her kitting, she lost a lot of blood, and Mouseflank nearly pronounced her dead, but she ended up bouncing back. Wingstar is trying his best to keep his calm manner, but it is quite difficult for him currently with everything. He's really worried about seeming weak when he has to bring this up to the next gathering, with how cruel most of the other clans are. With Silverrock, he's been going through it. His brother, Drizzlefur, got really badly injured during the dog attack. Like, really badly injured. His apprentice is also traumatized from the incident and is having a really hard time concentrating. He understands it though, and is being patient. Just glad that he isn't mentoring Zebrapaw during this ordeal, because that would have been even more rough on him. He's currently trying his best to keep up on his duties and keep Wingstar from falling apart. The Medicine Cats. These two have had their paws full this entire moon. Mouseflank has been really trying to keep her former apprentice, now known as Dapplespark, from blaming herself for the death of Cloudy Glide. She has saved so many cats from almost certain death, and she should be proud of herself for it. But she's not. She doesn't feel like she did enough and let her clanmate and their daughter down. They also early on, well on the way to the Field of Stars, which is an outstretched moor glowing with the previous lives of their ancestors in the form of fireflies, they found a small kit which you'll meet later on. They asked FalconClan about the kit, but it wasn't theirs, so they brought it home. Let's hope Dapplespark cheers up soon. So, Badgerfrost. Poor guy has been feeling very conflicted the past little bit. His mate finally confessed to cheating on him again and announced that she's having Berrystar's kits. Badgerfrost was devastated at first, until he thought through the math. They couldn't have been the previous leader's kits, since she got pregnant after his death. Which means she's lying even more. He's tried to be a good dad to his 2 new adopted daughters, and mourned one of them when the dogs took her away. He thinks that it's unfair how Hollowberry swoons over the 2 cheat kits when she's never treated any of their kits the same. He's resorted to comforting his other kits during this time, especially Fern Catcher, who I'll get into later. Alrighty, on to the lovebirds here. Blackflower and Sparrowcall started getting into arguments and grew very distant before the dog attack. But on the day when the dogs came and shredded the camp, Sparrowcall was on dusk patrol, unaware that his mate was fighting for her life while he was checking out their borders. When he came back and found a mangled barrier where the camp wall should have been, and the unconscious body of his mate, he was flung into a rage and fought like he had never fought before. Blackflower was terrified and originally thought the dogs had found Sparrowcall on his patrol, and she was very relieved when she woke up next to him. They have been attached at the hip ever since, and Sparrowcall has been taking in her affection a lot more than before. Thankfully, neither of them sustained any bad injuries. Drizzlefur and Spotted Ear. Spotted Ear had been distant with Drizzlefur since their sons moved out of the nursery, focusing on her hunting, while Drizzlefur had been trying to keep himself busy by helping out in the nursery with other kids. The day of the attack, he had been on patrol with Zebrapaw, which I'll reveal her full name later, Fern Catcher, and Vinepaw, which I will also reveal her name later. He had gotten poor sleep, so he was very agitated and angry with everyone, especially when they ran into a FalconClan patrol, trying to get them to take in one of their exiled warriors. Wingstar ordered him to go to sleep, so he did. When he woke up with Spotted Ear by his side, he was happy. Until the dogs attacked. During this, Meadowpaw was almost attacked, and without thinking, Drizzlefur jumped in front of him, paying the price with dog teeth. He was shooken around like a squeaky toy and then tossed. Mouseflank doesn't think he'll walk for a very long time, if he ever does walk again. He's been having a hard time breathing as well, sometimes waking up in a panic state because of it. Spotted Ear feels bad for thinking it, but she kinda hoped he would pass away for a little while there, so that he wouldn't suffer anymore. It hurts her to see him like this. Now, from sad to Glowfeather. She's been in a very good mood as of lately, even with the disaster. She was of course sad about the clan's losses, but from her perspective, she got Branchpaw out of his shell, and now has a new apprentice, and she's sure that she'll do the same with. Glowfeather has also been meeting with this kitty pet in secret that she really likes. His name's Wizard. He's silly and charming and treats her like she's the only she-cat in the forest. She's been trying to keep her good mood on the low in order not to get caught, but it's difficult with how happy he makes her. She's thought of bringing him to the clan before, but he doesn't like the idea of forest life like her, and prefers to keep his paws on carpet instead of mud, and she's okay with that. Alright, now if Fern Catcher seems a little confused or dazed here, it's because he is. He's really, really confused. When his little sisters were born, Fern Catcher was so angry that Badger Frost had to pin him down to keep him from hurting Hollowberry. He couldn't believe that she would cheat again on the only good Tom he's ever known, and the resemblance they had to him was sickening. He took out his anger on the clan, spitting and yelling at every little thing that angered him, especially on the patrol that Drizzlefur had where they met the FalconClan patrol. When the dog attack occurred, he was given the order to protect the nursery. He thought that he had it in him to defeat the dog, but was proven very wrong when his head got slammed into the nursery wall. Mouseflank says he's fine, while Dapplespark thinks he might have shooken up his brain a bit too much due to his odd behavior. No one can tell if his head was really injured, or if the attack scared him into his sentences. Alrighty, now on to Grumpy Grumps here. Rebelcry has been debating leaving the clan. She doesn't feel like anyone in the clan sees her, and that the dog attack solidifies her reasoning for not wanting to be there. She doesn't know where she would go, certainly not to the other clans, and being a rogue or kitty pet doesn't seem good either. She really doesn't know what to do. Here's a new face. This is Rising Pounce, the Tom from FalconClan who was exiled. He feels very awkward, not knowing his surroundings very well. The clan hasn't taken enough time to get to know him since they're all trying to recover from their injuries, while also the whole dog attack on his first day being there definitely wasn't the start he was hoping for. He didn't do anything wrong in his old clan, other than lose a fight. His leader, Maplestar, forced him to fight his littermate in order to keep a spot in the clan due to low prey, and he forfeited. I've only ever drawn him once, so ignore the very, very old drawing there on the side. Anyway, let's hope that the clan starts to see him for who he is. On to the siblings! These two haven't been feeling very well the past few moons. Mainly Halfhail. The birth of his younger sisters left him feeling very empty. They got the love and the attention he never had, and that hurt him a lot. He wished his mother would have sung him to sleep, and cuddled him tight. That he was told that he was loved, just like they are. Fidgetmint tried her hardest to ignore her mom and her new siblings and focused on Halfhail. His lack of happiness is frustrating to her. Nothing she does is helping him, and if she can't help him, then she's gonna start getting insecure herself, which scares her. She refuses to let that happen, so her antics have been increasing, leaving her to be more annoying to Half-Ale if anything. Our boy seems happier this lineup. This is the newly named Branch Fuzz. He finally, at the end of his apprenticeship, gathered some confidence thanks to Glowfeather's kindness and encouragement. Even though he's a smaller Tom, mistaken as an apprentice to all the other clans, he is really starting to impress his clanmates with his courage and swiftness. He feels happier than ever, especially with being one of the cats that chased off the dogs. Here's some more happy faces. Dirtfur and vineall. These two have really become close. They aren't mates, but they hope to be in the future. Dirtfur helped vineall during the dog attack, and with their teamwork they chased off one of the dogs, and have been spending a lot more time together while helping rebuild the camp walls. Their siblings' behavior doesn't bother them much anymore, joking to each other that Mudbark and Zebrastripe might never mature, and that focusing on each other is a much happier and healthier route. Overall, they're doing really well. Now the siblings, on the other hand, not a happy duo. Mudbark has been very agitated with his brother and unhappy with how much he's grown. In a literal sense too. Dirtfur is slightly taller than Mudbark now, and it's very irritating to him. How dare his brother be happy? Zebrastripe sides with Mudbark, also angry with her sister for her cheerful manner. Neither of them have been getting the attention that they've been wanting from the clan, and have started taking it out on each other, arguing all the time but still being toxic enough to hang around one another due to craving attention. Okay, now on to Drizzlefur and Spotted-Ear's sons. Mudpaw was apprenticed to his uncle Silverrock, while Floppypaw has Glowfeather as his mentor. These two are basically best friends since birth. They spend as much time together as possible, and when the dog attack happened, both of them suffered in different ways. Meadowpaw was with his mentor, Drizzlefur, and Fidgetmint while waiting outside the camp to scare the dogs away. But when a dog went after him, he froze and couldn't run. His dad jumped out in front of him and was nearly killed, leading Meadowpaw to finally run away and back into camp. The other dogs followed him and attacked his clanmates, including his brother. Floppypaw had been majorly injured, damaging and dislocating his shoulder and losing one of his teeth. Meadowpaw blames himself for everything, and Floppypaw tries to comfort him. Now another new face. This is OrangeKit, the kit that Mouseflank and Dapplespark found. She's a spunky, energetic, and silly she-kit who has no memory of her past. She knows no one in the camp is her real parents, but that doesn't bother her. She's part of GoldenClan, and she's proud of it. Drizzlefur has been the one taking care of her since she arrived in clan, and so she sees him as her adoptive dad. I don't really have much else to say about her, other than she doesn't like Hollowberry, who treats her like she treated all of her previous kits. Now we have Sandblossom and DesertKit. Sandblossom recovered well from her daughter's birth, being the absolute best mother for her. She loves her more than she's ever loved anything else, and DesertKit has been a beautiful result of that. She's kind and sweet, and has the same silly tendencies as her dad, though she hasn't felt too close to Waystar since he hasn't been able to spend much time with her. Okay, here's Hollowberry, which has been very much annoying to everyone, it seems. She's become almost obsessed over her new litter, claiming them to be the kids she's always wanted and the perfect daughters. No one really knows why all of a sudden that she's been so keen on being a good mom, but nonetheless she's been as good as a mother as she can be with her newest daughters. Though with the recent dog attack and losing one of her kids, Cowkit, she's been super grief-stricken, focusing everything onto StrawberryKit, even forcing Badgerfrost to stay away from her most of the time. Also, as a side note, Strawberry Kit was based off of the littlest pet shop I had when I was little, which I find is hilarious, so I try to change up her design a little bit, but still. Lastly, we have SwiftKit. She's the daughter of Cloudy Glide. She doesn't really understand what happened that night, or the concept of death. All she knows is that her mom was alive when she went to sleep, and that when she woke up, her mom wasn't moving, and everyone was sad. Sandblossom was taking over nursing her, since she's the youngest kid and can't have solid foods. I just feel really bad for her. She's really sweet and didn't deserve that. Alrighty, there's GoldenClan. Now, you might have noticed CowKit wasn't in the StarClan lineup, and all I'll say is that wasn't an accident. I really hope that y'all enjoyed listening to me talk about my characters again. Oh, and before I forget, I have a Discord thingy open now, so if you guys want to ask questions or get insight on the clan's history, and maybe some spoilers, it'll be in the description. Once again, thank you for listening, and have a great rest of your day. Look at how cute she's being. I'm trying to do a script, but she's being so cute.